Thank you very much for watching Master Jason Feng Shui. I'm currently still in Thailand, so now I'm at the hotel and come on to live today because I want to touch on some of the major events that are occurring. America has struck on Iran's nuclear sites just yesterday, and it is a shocking news to many people because, right, nobody expected Trump to take such kind of very swift action towards Iran. And if we are to look at Bazi perspective, I have mentioned towards the end of, in the beginning of this year, that towards the second half of this year, it is a time whereby military conflicts will escalate due to the fact that we are entering into the red sheep calamity soon. In terms of budget reading, if we are to refer to the year 2026 and 2027, 2026 is our Bingwu year, is having a young fire, Bing fire at the heavenly stems and the Wu fire at the earth branch. And likewise, in the year 2027, it is of the Dingwei year, of the yin fire at the heavenly stems and Wei earth, which is a dry earth at the earth branch. And if we are to look at if we are to refer to the history of the world, whenever we have this red sheep calamity, the world would usually go through a lot of chaos. We will be witnessing more military conflicts in or even geopolitical dispute or this kind of frictions between countries the coming next 2 years. It is for sure. I'm very sure this will happen, and I will all kind of help you to understand, what will be the next 2 years development. Starting from now, of course, right? We have entered into this. If you are familiar with budget reading, usually we will take the second half of the year as to be represented by the earth branch of the year. So we are entering into a period whereby the Shi fire will be dominant, will be of the power that will influence the world at large. So Shi itself, it is a very changeable earth branch in the sense that Shi Wu Wei will form a fire combination formation, Shi Hou Shou will form a metal combination formation, whereas Shi Shen will form a water combination formation. So Shi itself will always bring about situation of turbulence, of situation changing in a very unexpected manner. So likewise, right, entering into this month, which is Ren Wu, towards the end of the month, of course, is also represented by the Wu energy. We see that there is a certain occurrence of military conflicts between Israel and Iran, and now America is involved. So it is going to be quite a scary, next 2.5 years. I would say it's pretty risky time for many of us. Of course, when there are many military conflicts, it will definitely affect the economy. So perhaps we'll first look at the 21st of June, which is when this bombing of Iran has taken place. It is actually of the single day, right? If we are to refer to Bart's reading. Perhaps I will try to write it down for you. Why is it that it is a sign of kind of like occurrence of this kind of the starting of very chaotic situation, right? Globally speaking, will this actually lead to World War III? I would say the chance is quite high. So should be prepared, yeah, for the next 2.5 years. It is going to be a disastrous time for many countries. And I will try to connect my iPad, yeah. So hopefully, there will not be technical issue. All right, I can't connect to my iPad. I'm not sure, right? Not sure why, but never mind. I will just speak, right, and explain to you. All right. Perhaps we'll just first of all look at the history, right? Whenever we have the Bingwu and the Ding or the kind of like 赤马红羊哈，赤马红羊劫哈。I will speak a bit in Chinese also 车马红羊其实是中国古代一个著名的寓言的一个体系哈、指的是呢每逢我们的丙午年，就是那个的车马年，还有丁尾年呢，红羊年时候呢，会容易发生大的灾难或者国家会有大的动荡。这个概念最早于北宗一天四道的第三时代的天师藏术先提出的，后来呢。南宋呢，这个车王在丙丁贵鉴中细提整理了历史相当的文件。那这些就是一些历史上的一些事情哦。曾经呢，在古代有几个大灾难哦，就在这个车马红羊年发生的。第一个呢，就是公元前的255年这个丙午年哈。这个呢，就是一个我们叫做呢汉昭帝的驾崩的一个时间所以呢，那时候中国有一个大的变动了哈。那我就不说一些比较太过远的历史可能就是说最近就比较靠近我们现代历史的，就是呢我们中国这个文化大革命如果呢你记得在1966年的时候，就是丙午年文化大革命就开始这场历史呢就是告急历史就是在中国发生了大概10年这个呢，对中国5000年的文化还有呢这个传统都有一个非常大的破坏，有数千万人呢都有死于非命那我们呢现在 fast forward 这60年之后呢，我们又见到这个车马红羊年所以呢，对我们这个世界会不会有大的影响呢？其实是会的Good evening, Mr. David. Yeah, I'm right. Gold price and what is that? Black gold price up. Well, chances of gold increasing in price is that, but I will say, right, if you really want to be more adventurous, try to invest more into technological, in tech industry, so to speak, because it is of the fire element. I know, cryptocurrency, all these things are still very kind of like, uh, you know, perceived by people to be risky, but it is really through this risky investment that you make the biggest sum of return. So gold will it be, yeah, it is safe, but it's not likely to bring you very great profit. All right. Okay. So to move back to where I was talking about, right? So this red horse and red sheep calamity will have brought about great disaster in China. For example, the Cultural Revolution, that occurred in the year 1966, and many people have died during that period. And that was actually the reason why my grandfather actually migrated from China, Guangxi to Hong Kong. All right, he was actually staying in Guangxi, and due to the Cultural Revolution, a lot of people are being persecuted especially if you own land, if you are a scholar, or if you are a businessman. All these people are being persecuted in China. So my grandfather migrated to Hong Kong due to Cultural Revolution, and that's why I was born in Hong Kong. Yeah, so that's some personal history. But nonetheless, right, millions of people died during the Revolution, and this calamity, right, Cultural Revolution, this disaster actually lasted about 10 years. So, right, we are entering into this red horse and red sheep calamity again. And due to the fact that we are at the Li Gua Jiu Yun in our Chinese metaphysics means it is of the Li Gua, which is of the fire element. So there is an overlapping of extremely strong fire element in the next 2 years, especially. So will this bring about global disaster? Definitely. And if we are to look at some of the crises that have already taken place, right, since the start of the year, which I already mentioned, right, it is going to be a year whereby military conflicts will escalate. In the past few years, we actually doubted whether, Russia and Ukraine will stop their, military conflict. This year, I told many of you that this warfare between Russia and Ukraine will not stop anytime soon due to the fact that I have observed Putin's above chat, and he's not likely to be, to cease a fire, in the year 2025 at least. Yeah, this Russian-Ukraine war is likely to last for at least for another 2 years, I would say. And then, right, due to the fact that we are also seeing that 2025 is actually, right, if we are to refer it to I Ching, right, it is also a starting point of the Li Gua. 2024 is just the like in the middle of 2024 is the transition point. So 2025 is the exact um, transition whereby we have totally entered into the Li Gua Zhou Yun already, and that exactly overlap with the sorry with our 2025 which is the Li Gua Zhou Yun, yeah. So sometimes my handphone don't know I will some technical issue and we suddenly play some play some sound, yeah. So right, we first of all, right, 2025, we saw the crisis that erupted between India and Pakistan in May. Of course, May, right, it is the month of if we are to look at the lunar calendar, May is actually the month of Xing Shi. That's also the reason why I mentioned that Shi in the year of May, it is already the starting point of a very strong fire period, and it is the double snake period in the month of May because this is the year of the Yi Shi, and May is the month of Xing Shi. So since May 2025, we already have conflicts between India and Pakistan, followed by the Israel-Iran direct confrontation in June. Yeah, perfectly amplifying the budget prediction of systemic global crisis. Okay, so these events, right, are not isolated incidents, but part of what Bazi described as the broader global unraveling, where the post-Cold War assumption that great power war was absolute and is no longer, is wars, right? Military conflicts are something that we cannot avoid in the near future. So the most important question is that will there be nuclear war? I hope not, to be honest. And before Trump's presidents, Trump went for this presidential election. I already think inside my heart, I hope that Donald Trump would not become the president. Because right, when he becomes the president, we are very sure that the world will enter into a tremendously chaotic state due to the fact that Donald Trump's budget chart is also very strong in the fire element. If you are to analyze his budget chart, unfortunately, I am not able to turn on my tablet. But perhaps if you have ever looked into Donald Trump's budget chart, I will just read it verbally to you. Donald Trump's budget chart is actually having Bingxu at the year pillar, Bingwu at the month pillar, 职为 at the day pillar, and the 指示 at the hour pillar. And likewise, he's having Shi, Wu, Wei. All these are fire directional fire combination formation at his birth chart. And will his presidency bring about the possibility of World War III? I will say the chances are extremely high. And are we going to believe that Iran will not retaliate? I don't think so. Especially, we are talking about a place whereby religious belief is so strong, right? Iran is is a religious place, and it is usually due to this kind of religious fervency that people will go into war, regardless of the cost. And will this bring to a Holocaust? I really hope not. But I believe worse times will appear. Worse times are coming. So we all have to be ready. And Bazi chart, right? Due to the fact that 21st of June is also of the Xingyo. Xingyo is of metal element. Metal actually has a conflicting relationship with fire. Okay, whenever we see fire being kind of suppressed or conquered by metal element, it is also a sign of military conflict. So it is on the day of Xingyo that we see this month, which is Renwu, we see this bombing of Iran's nuclear sites. So it is all coherent with the development of our Bazi lunar calendar. So it is really going to be more and more volatile, right? Middle East and even between China and Taiwan, I will say, especially close to the end of the year. Earlier, I have checked on the Shan Kong Flying Star charts towards the month of October, which is also of the Bingxu and moving into Ding Hai. Kai is element that will be clashing with the year Tai Sui of the Si Fire. So it's towards October and November that I will see uh, tremendously great escalation of military conflicts globally. Will China and Taiwan also see, tensions that will lead to warfare? I will say the chances are very high. Yeah. So we are just at the beginning of this very extremely dangerous period. Moving ahead, things will be worse, right? Things will be worse. Yeah. So if we are also to look at the changes in terms of political leadership in China, China will also be experiencing transition due to the fact that, right, Xi Jinping's power will likely to to face some challenges due to the fact that, right, unfortunately, I don't have the iPad with me, right? If not, I will be able to decode his birth chart for you. But if you are to look at Xi Jinping's Bazi chart, Xi Jinping is actually of a strong fire day master. So given that the next 2 years is also strong in the fire element, will he see health issues or challenges in terms of his position in the Communist Party? I will say yes. So really it's going to be quite a chaotic time for the whole world in the next few years. So we really have to be mentally prepared. Yeah. But Bazi has already shown us all these indications, to be honest, and we should not take it lightly. Yeah, we should really try our best to plan our business or plan our, whatever developments, taking into account the really chaotic things that are going to happen in the next few years. Yeah. And then we also should also take into consideration the fact that, right, nuclear warfare will it take place? I to be honest, I really hope not, but I will say yes, there's a chance of the reoccurrence of nuclear warfare. It's just a matter of skill. How big this will go. Hopefully it will not be that big. But we do see that Bingwu is an extremely strong fire year. And Bingwu, when combined together, is actually a metaphor of extremely great explosion. So yes, I hope not. I hope not. But as we are to look at Bazi itself, the chances are very high. Yeah. So okay. So what it means is that right. Uh, will we see economic situation be getting worse globally? Yes, yeah, and uh, and really there will be a lot of um you know uncertainty ahead. Yeah, so these are all the things that we have to take look of for the following years. Yeah, so Deaf in time, hi, is Singapore safe that? I don't think Singapore will be absolutely free from negative influence due to the fact that Singapore is having a Yiwu Day master that is weak. And 5 years would always be disastrous for a weekday master. And plus, we can also look at 199, 1966. What happened to Singapore? What happened in Singapore. If we are to look about like the last赤马红羊in Singapore, right? We will just kind of see if it has any very significant events. If we are to look at 1966, right? It was a pivotal year for Singapore as it marked the nation's first full year of independence and established of many foundational institutions that will shape its future. Yep. So 1966 actually was also a year. Was it a year that it was being kicked out of Malaysia? Was it a year that separated from Malaysia? Perhaps we will just do some check as you know, because we are most of us stay in Singapore. So let's look back at history. Yeah, 1966. So it was near it was near 1966. Yeah, it actually happens in 1965. Yeah, that Singapore was separated from uh, from Malaysia. But as it was still a very tough year for Singapore. Yeah. So and it was also kind of like coherent with the fact, okay, this year Singapore is celebrating the 60th birthday, right? So we look at history, right? 60 years old, Singapore was being kicked out of Malaysia, and as I mentioned before, sometimes these kind of disasters will occur earlier, just like right now, Donald Trump has decided to bomb Iran, right, which is 1 year ahead of the Bingwu year. So yes, history will repeat itself. We can only take this kind of example to give us better preparation for what is ahead. Well, of course, when something bad happens, sometimes something good will also, it's a cycle. It's the yin and yang cycle. So whenever there are crises, there will also be opportunities. So really, we should not be totally pessimistic about it, but really to look at our history and also to prepare on uh, what is going to take place in the future. Yeah. So 八字 is always very useful. It is very direct, and it is always consistent. It will not give you different answers at different time of prediction. Yeah. That's why I will always prefer to use 八字. Of course, there are many other famous matters in Chinese metaphysics, such as 九尾斗数, such as 奇门遁甲, such as 绘画艺术. Yeah, I'm just someone who prefer to use 八字 because it is always very clear when it comes to giving us a helicopter view of what is happening globally. Yeah, whereas 九尾斗数 is also likewise able to predict. Yeah, if we are to plot the chart using the entering of spring to gauge what is ahead. But due to the fact that I can't share with you the iPad today, some technical issue with the Wi-Fi. I'm not sure what is happening to the hotel's Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm not able to share screen. Yeah, but I'm just you know emphasizing the point that right horse fire here will embody kind of usually military conflicts, and it is also likely to bring about okay, if we are to look at 紫微斗数, uh, the flying star for the year 2026, right? Due to its heavenly stems having the Bing fire, we are having 天同化禄、天机化权、文昌化科、廉政化忌啊。我们其实呢，懂得紫微斗数，就是我们比较熟悉紫微斗数的人都永远比较了解嘛。廉政这颗星呢，通常也是代表一些国与国之间的斗争，政治上的斗争，尤其是所以呢，明年我们丙午年就有廉政化忌了，所以这一个年份呢，整个世界的国与国之间的关系都会非常的混乱或者非常的紧张。坦白的说哈。不止美国跟伊朗，还有中国跟美国或者中国跟台湾，现在泰国跟这个柬埔寨也是有一些问题啊。If you are to refer to the recent development in Thailand, between Thailand and Cambodia, there has also been quite a lot of conflicts. Yeah, just recently, the cousin's daughter, right? She has a phone call that's being late, and she was actually, I believe, calling the leader of Cambodia. And this Thailand-Cambodia border conflict has dramatically escalated in year 2025, likewise, marking the most serious tensions between the two Southeast Asian neighbors since the violent clashes of 2008 to 2011. The current crisis stems from a deadly border skirmish and has been compounded by a damaging diplomatic leak that threatens to topple Thailand's government. So even Thailand and Cambodia are seeing, military conflicts. Um, on the 28th of May 2025, Thai and Cambodia troops exchanged gunfire in the disputed Chombok area of Ubon Ratchathani province, known as part of the Emerald Triangle, where Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos converge. The clash resulted in the death of one Cambodia soldier, with both sides claiming they acted in self-defense. Cambodia's Ministry of Defense accused Thai forces of opening fire on a Cambodian army trench, while Thailand claimed its soldiers only responded after Cambodian forces initiated weapon use during misunderstandings. So, to cut it short, right? Southeast Asia is having military conflicts. Between Taiwan and China, there will be military conflicts, and Iran and Israel already started. U.S. has kind of like fueled the fire further, and then Russia and Ukraine, the war between these two countries are not going to end anytime soon. So will more and more countries go into war in the near future? Definitely, yeah. So Joyce Simon, yeah, you are exactly correct. Yeah, the year 2025 we do see 廉政. 廉政, in terms of 紫微斗数, is a very complicated star. It is a star that is always related to political struggle. Um, is always related to different kinds of political turmoils. We seeing it being paired with a negativity enhancer star. Um, it definitely will bring about military kind of chaos or turbulence, yeah, or geopolitical turbulence, yeah, this kind of situation, yeah. So other things that we can observe from Zhuidosu point of view is that, right, Lantern itself is also a star that is of the fire element. Yeah, if you're familiar with Zuedo, so yeah, so all these things actually point to a very volatile situation ahead. Yep. In Zuedo Su, right, when Zue is being paired with Huaji, it represents a particular volatile combination in Chinese astrology. Lianzhen itself, is always related to power, authority, and leadership positions. Where it's being paired with Huaji represents obstacles, sometimes even jealousy and misfortune. And when these energies combine, they create what practitioners call kind of like political power struggles. So yes, I will say right is going to be a very tough time for many countries. Yep, and especially so right. If we are seeing 廉贞 being paired with certain negative star like 七煞, 擎羊, in terms of the history of 紫微斗数 or the some of the classic literature of 紫微斗数, it says that 廉政化忌逢七煞，路边埋尸啊。那我们总会有某个月份嘛，廉政这个星会配到这个七杀，还有这个化忌的。尤其是我们的明年2025年就是一个廉政化忌的一年了。那路边埋尸啊，或者路上埋尸，这个就是呢，代表呢，很多人会在战争里面死去啊。那 according to 紫微斗数 ancient texts that warn 紫微化忌逢七煞，路边埋尸。So it will bring about the situation of corpses buried by the roadside, indicating potential for violent conflicts and military disaster. So yeah, so definitely not a very good year for us to visit certain countries, especially right? Those countries that are having military conflicts. Yeah. So there will be battlefield, there will be casualties, and a lot of deaths, right? A lot of course, right? Throughout the next 2 years, there will also be revolutionary upheavals 啊，就是说有一些革新的一些思想还有魄力啊，有点像我们60年前的那个文化大革命啊。总之呢，每次扯马红羊年呢，这个世界都有大改变。60年前，新加坡也是被马来西亚丢了出去，哈、好像一个孤儿这样啊。一个贫穷的孤儿被马来西亚丢了出去。可是呢，很幸运的，我们那时候呢，就有李光耀先生哈、把新加坡带领到从一个第三世界的国家去到一个第一世界国家。那其实呢，我已经说过很多次了啊，李光耀先生他的八字就是人水身旺的嘛，哦，所以在这种扯马红羊年的时候，我们真的需要很多那种水旺的那种领导人。那我们现在的总理嘛，Prime Minister Lawrence Wong 也是一个癸水甚旺的一个总理啊，就是他的预言是非常甚旺的。所以呢，我希望在Prime Minister Lawrence Wong 的带领之下，新加坡也是能够有一个我们所说的，虽然遇到扯马红羊年红羊年，还是能够安安稳稳、顺顺利利的度过了啊。那其实这个是一个巧合吗？是不是新加坡的政府真的有算过？Prime Minister Ron Swan 的八字是比较就是说水旺，比较适合帮助新加坡呢，很难说哈。可是我觉得新加坡很多政治背后都有一些命理上的一些就是说有一些命理上的因素在里面啊，我觉得也并不是一种巧合哦。所以呢，没有办法了哈，我们真的要好好去面对下2年这个世界大乱的情况世界大乱的情况啊。那可是呢，明年我们还是天气化权啊，我们能够了解吗？丙年就是天气化权的嘛，所以嘛，好像 AI 这些东西啊，就会越来越厉害的哈。What will be seeing a tremendous the great improvement or development in the year 2026 is still AI or anything that is related to technology because in modern context, TNG is a star that is related to technology. So will it means that in the year 2025 we'll continuously seeing great breakthrough, new developments in artificial intelligence or anything that is related to technology? Yes, and especially like things like intelligent glasses will it start to become a hot cake, in the year 2025. I will say very likely. I believe Google and Apple have already started their advertisement on these intelligent glasses. So will it sell very well in the coming years? Will they will sell very well in the coming years? Yep. And John Simon says that 是不是大运火上架失火，连导致世界大战？是啊，就是这样子啊。火就是代表永远就是代表战争的嘛，战火啊会死很多人啊这种情况啊，或者核爆炸啊，就算没有核爆炸，都会有很多关于那种火灾啊，甚至一些其实病毒也是会发生的，通常火很旺的年份，因为尤其是那种瘟疫，因为我们的肺部嘛是用金属来代表的，那火烧金的时候就是代表毒气，所以会不会说打仗的这个时间，有一些国家他们会用一些 biological weapons，一些生化武器哦，有毒气的一些东西去攻击他们的敌人呢，也是有这个情况出现。In terms of body reading, the metal element actually represents the respiratory system, and the metaphor of fire burning metal is also related to poisonous gas or air pollution. So will the military conflicts in the next 2 years seeing countries using biological weapons using poisonous gas on their enemies or opponents? I will say the chances are there. Or will different kinds of military conflicts bring about air pollution or just climate change? I think yes. I think yes. The possibility is very high. Yep. So, and if we are to look at 2027, likewise, we are having 巨门化忌. 巨门化忌, of course, is related to communication. So, uh, that could lead to political, um, diplomatic ties, being in a state of conflicts, or in a state of chaos, between different countries. Yeah, so the next 2 years are really quite chaotic. Yeah. I don't see a very smooth ride. Yeah. So we have to be mentally prepared. Yeah. But some of the things that we can still focus on is really, of course, the mentality of staying flexible, staying adaptable, because water element is the element that will be able to balance the whole world in the next 2 years, particularly. And we should always stay calm, always stay flexible, like the water element, always staying adaptable, right? Always able to change ourselves as according to what the situation will be like, due to the fact that many jobs will be lost in the next 2 years. Many large company will restructure due to military operations, the influence of, high cost, the higher cost of living will still be experienced in the next 2 years, definitely due to due to the occurrences of all these military conflicts. And at the same time, the rise of AI. Many people will lose their job due to the rise of AI, especially in the next 2 years. The world will see a revolution. A lot of companies will retrench workers and use AI instead. So, but if you are well versed in tech, you are someone who is into tech sector, you will do very well. Yeah, you'll continue to see very positive progress in the next 2 years. Because the year 2026, we are seeing Tianqi being paired with Huaquan. Huaquan is very much like authority catalyst. Or I'm not sure if I'm translating it correctly. 可是化权永远都是代表能力啊，永远都是代表一种好的发展。所以嘛，天机在2026年是化忌的，然后呢，2027年天机也是化科，所以这2年来说呢，所有机器的东西啊，robotic 啊，所有关于这一方面的都会有很好的发展，都会有很好的发展。哦，可是呢，没有办法啦，廉政化忌哦，始终整个还有这个2026年廉政化忌，2027年巨门化忌，这2年都是代表国与国之间的关系会吵架，容易吵架，好像就现在嘛，国与国之间都很多吵架，也不懂为什么了哈。总之这些都是会一路继续去发生的啦，我们没有办法避免的，好不好？那只能够是说，我们要说命运有时候真的没有办法改变啊，可是我们还是需要得看到前面的路，虽然是比较难的，我们还是要懂得去 adjust 我们的那个心态还有我们生活的方式去面对了，好不好？好，那今天的分享就来到这里，好，希望呢跟大家讲解的东西给大家一个心理准备了下2年的那个发展其实真的蛮糟糕的哈。那我现在还在泰国如果呢你们在泰国需要找些什么可以随时联系我，然后呢，我也会在下个星期呢，去不同的佛庙然后呢，去继续给你们一个更新如果呢你们是说想祈福或者有什么什么事情呢，想我在泰国帮你们做的请你们联系我了，好不好？那大家呢有没有什么 comments 觉得这个世界是不是真的越来越乱呢？你们也可以分享一下那当然呢，在学公飞星里面呢，再跟大家说多意思我们这个月份来说，这个月壬午月我们的南方是有这个2号的星，然后呢，这个5号的星也是在西方那西方其实也是在我们的 Middle East Iran Israel 这边也是我们的那个 Middle East。所以嘛，2跟5这2个星在全球飞行里面都是我们在难的那些地区所以就是为什么呢？我们 这个月份的时候，看到印度有发生这个飞机爆炸的那个巨尾的那个意外，然后呢，伊朗跟以色列也是有同样的有这种不好的这种战争发生。那下个月呢，这个魁尾月了啊，我们这个2号的星座在我们的北方了哦，所以会不会是 Russia 啊，会不会是 China 这方面呢会有问题呢？会的。那再下去呢，就是我们的这个东南也是会有问题。那东南就是我们的 Southeast Asia 咯，所以 Indonesia 嘛，就在东南这个方向。So in the month of August, I see Indonesia having some kind of major disaster. So we all should be cautious as to whether to travel there or not. Yeah, Indonesia in the month of August will see great disaster. But to be honest, right，我们的初一大概就是在这个几天后就踏入这个农历的初一嘛，所以嘛，其实来说，我们的这个初一现在是 OK，我们这个月份这是现在是2025年，我们这个初一就是在这个25号啊。其实6月25号之后呢，印尼就会有一些大的灾难发生呀。Because right, in terms of the flying star sequence in the month of 癸尾，可是有时候呢，在初一以后已经会发生。总之呢，在这个初一之后呢，大家去印尼这些地方或者东南亚的地方都要比较小心。东南亚当然也是包括我现在所在的泰国还有呢一些缅甸啊、越南这些国家啦。可是我觉得应该是会在印尼了所以印尼真的可能会有大地震或者一些大的天灾人祸有很大的机会发生，或者会不会是在泰国呢？也会有机会。So in the month of Kuiwei, which is August, but this transition, which actually will take place near to the 26th of June onwards, yeah. So Southeast Asia, due to the fact that Kuiwei is having the number 5 star at the southeast of the globe, so anywhere near to southeast of the globe, so Southeast Asia, particularly Indonesia or Thailand, Vietnam, all these places towards the southeast, will see great disaster. Will that be an earthquake? Will that be military conflicts? Will that be volcanic eruptions, etc.? Very high chance. So we all should stay vigilant. At the same time, the love also. So will that be the love like countries like China, Russia, having great disaster also very high chance. Yeah. So my mind is like filled with all kinds of visions right now. It's like the whole world is really going to see a lot of conflicts, military conflicts. China and Taiwan having military conflicts. Russia, Ukraine, America with Iran and Israel, Cambodia with Thailand, and all these occurrences are already something that I have mentioned during the start of the year. The year 2025, especially towards the second half, 2026 and 2027. Chaotic time, a time of warfare between nations, time of disagreements, nations not seeing eye to eye with one another, a lot of even trade wars, and chaotic economic situation. So if you are into investment, you should also be more cautious. Yeah, play safe. Yeah, try not to be too risky. In stock, buying or selling of stock, etc. 是不是飞星今年中什么月27也化火？这个我不太明白。你是说飞星今年什么中二？今年2号是在中宫的。坦白说，今年2号是在中宫的。那什么7月？你是说7月对不对？那我们 OK 啦，我只能够说了如果再说下去嘛，这个甲申月就是大概我们的 September 的时候当然你还是要找回那个 lunar calendar。September 的时候，我们5号这个武王星也是在中宫那25相加必神主那我们今年就乙巳年嘛，2号就是在我们的中宫 那甲申月武王这个星也是在中宫，二五交加啦，这个就是二五交加，所以 September 也是一个非常糟糕的月份啊。这个就是总是说7月到9月了啊，这个世界都会大乱的这个世界都会大乱的。那甲申这个月份呢，甲申这个月份，如果我们就是看回去，exactly when is the starting point of 甲申 is more towards the 7th of August, 7th of August, 2025, yeah, 7th of August, 2025, yep. So that is of the 癸未, yeah, 癸未, or actually is the starting of. Okay, sorry, let me repeat myself. Jiasen, which is of the August 2025, will start on the day of 7th of August. So 7th of August onwards, these two black lunar star and the five yellow disaster star are overlapping. So it is a month that will bring about tremendously great calamity, globally speaking. Will that be officially the time of the starting of World War III? Very high chance, very high chance. Or will we see Iran retaliate, attacking Israel and US? Hopefully not, but that could be a chance. Yeah, that could be a chance. So not some very positive news, but since you mentioned, I will continue to look ahead. The month of Bingxi, we are seeing at the west of the globe, rather as all right, sorry, it's more towards the, yeah, the west is having a number 5 star also, and then likewise southeast is also having a number 2 star. So will Bingxi also see further escalation of war? Yes, I will say yes. Yeah. So actually, I have mentioned all this in my previous live video already. You guys can go back to my previous YouTube video to double check. Yeah, but whatever I have mentioned at the start of the year are all coming true, and not it's not like I'm happy about it. It's just that I have to given that I know Bazi and familiar with how to decode it to reflect the world developments, it's my duty to tell you honesty. It's also always my principle to be very honest and direct in my opinions, in my comments. I can be offending many people, yeah, but what I always share with you are my truest opinions, my most honest comment. So I believe life is too short to always tell people things that are misleading. I'm always very transparent. So hopefully you guys will be able to get something out of my sharing and better prepare yourself for the next few years. So thank you all for watching, and yep, any other comments? If not, I will just call it a day. So thank you very much, Mr. David, for watching. Delphine Tan, very glad to see you here. I believe it's the first time you're commenting on my video. John Simon also, thank you very much. And to the rest of the silent majority, wishing you a beautiful Sunday evening, and I will see you all in the next live video. Bye bye.